Continue on here with our week 2 reactions. I know everyone wants to hear what I think about the Chargers, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Chargers going to Carolina on the road, and they destroyed the Panthers. Now, the Panthers are probably the worst team in the NFL, and that's no joke at this point, especially after we saw some kind of promise out of the Giants offense. The Patriots got that upset win over the Bengals. I think the Bears will get better. That team is just way too talented not to get better. I mean, some of the other candidates to be the worst team in the league, there's reasons why it's the Carolina Panthers over those teams. So I'm not taking too much stock into this game for my Bolts, but I am taking one thing into consideration. This defensive line is scary, and it's scared 2 quarterbacks in a row now. Gardner Minshew made a lot of mistakes last week. I talked about it in depth. If you guys want to go watch that video, it's on my channel as its own video, so you don't have to watch the whole podcast. But I think that they did the same thing to Bryce Young again. They got to him early in this game because they stopped blitzing Young into the second half. It got to a point where the Chargers were only rushing 4. They weren't even getting pressure, and Bryce Young was still making all kinds of crazy mistakes without pressure on him. Just unpressured errors. And you could say that's bad quarterback play, but there is something to say about what the D-line did to him very early in the game, set the tone, set the message. And what's crazy is both in the pass defense and run defense, the Chargers right now statistically have gone from worst to first, bottom 5 to top 5. So let's hope that this keeps going with Jesse Minter and this new group. I mean, it's a very similar group to previous years. It's just a new scheme, new mentality, new style of attacking offenses. It was very exciting to see, and unfortunate for Bryce Young that he had to run into them this week in Carolina. For the Chargers offense, everyone's kind of like, why haven't the Chargers unleashed Herbert yet? It's because they haven't had to. They really haven't had to. And even when they did try to get Herbert going in this game a little bit, Herbert took some hits. And it was like, okay, so we need to scale back here. We're up by 2 touchdowns. We don't need Justin Herbert to really throw in this game at all. And the Chargers did again. And maybe I should eat some crow here because I still thought the passing game would be a big part of the Chargers offense. But then again, like I'm saying, we haven't needed it yet. The Chargers have literally won the games from just running the ball so far. If the Chargers rushing attack gets stopped by Pittsburgh this week, who the Chargers are playing, and we're going to talk about in depth a little bit later in the show, they may be forced to pass more. And then we'll see Herbert unleashed. And when we see Herbert unleashed, we know what he can do. But he's got to stay smart. He's got to stay healthy. Can't take those big hits. Can't be trying to be too much of a Superman-style player anymore. We don't need you to be Superman anymore. We just need you to be like Batman or something equivalent. We don't need anything crazy out of you, Herbie. So very excited for the Chargers. And on the Panthers side of things, they benched Bryce Young immediately after this game for Andy Dalton. That is just ugly, man. And I hope Bryce Young is picked up by a team with a great coach. I'm talking about the Giants. I'm talking about the Rams. I'm talking about a team with either an older quarterback and they just want to get Bryce Young in there as a good backup, someone that can develop, see if they can turn him into something still. Kind of a similar situation to Baker Mayfield. Or a team that is desperate in a bad situation with their quarterback currently. Maybe they trade for Bryce Young, but he needs to get out of Carolina because sometimes it is where you go. It doesn't work out because of where you go. And that really is what it feels like with Bryce Young here. Also, Bryce Young hasn't helped himself very much. I haven't noticed any substantial improvements out of him in his couple-year career so far. All right, next thing I want to talk about is the next great quarterback and wide receiver duo forming in Arizona. Holy shit. I am pumped to see this because I kind of called it. As soon as the Cardinals drafted Marvin Harrison, and even before they drafted Marvin Harrison, I was saying they should draft Marvin Harrison because Kyler Murray with Marvin Harrison is going to be an absolute freaking cheat code. And I know it didn't manifest in week 1. We saw that there was some opportunities in week 1 that were missed that they definitely probably could have landed on. And we saw them land early and often here in week 2. And what really makes this connection special to me is when you get Kyler Murray's ability to extend plays, to extend these plays into the 7, 8, 9, 10 second range. And you got Marvin Harrison now running around the field on like a route where he can just make it up as he goes. It's indefendable. I don't think anyone in the league is going to be able to slow this duo down if Kyler's playing this well, doing this well at evading sacks and stuff. They're going to be very hard to stop offensively. I wish that the Cardinals defense was really good, but in this game they were really good. They destroyed the Rams. The Rams are all kinds of banged up, so we'll see how they do next week. But man, the Cardinals wide receiver quarterback duo that's forming down there is going to be very hard to stop. I think we're going to see some very exciting individual plays, and we're going to see some very exciting games out of these two where they're scoring a bunch of points. A lot of freaking points. Thank you for tuning in to another NFL Mike video. Now it's time to go make more football friends, or go and compete in the Mike's Pickems challenge, or against me in daily fantasy football challenges by joining my completely free NFL group chat, or head to fifthdown.shop and check out and see if we got your team's newest designs. Or now you can simply rep your favorite players without having to wear another team's gear, and then tag us in pictures of you wearing your Fifth Down merch for a shout out in the next episode of NFL Mike's Corner, and help us reach our goal of getting 1,000 NFL fans wearing Fifth Down. Or you can head to the next NFL Mike video by clicking it. It's on your screen. Go ahead.